Imagine for a moment that every mistake you ever made was a grain of sand, some tiny, sharp, some big and jagged. Now imagine an entire beach of those grains, and then imagine the ocean washing over them. Are you the single grain or the whole ocean, vast, infinite, swallowing and transforming every speck into smoothness over time? Isn't it fascinating how when you chunk up like this, you start to see, oh shit, I was never the stain. I was the whole fabric of life itself. And now your unconscious can already begin to calculate the cost of not letting that sink in. Because if you keep fusing identity to mistake, what happens? You shrink. You say no when life was begging for you to say yes. You spend years dragging boulders of guilt up hills that never existed. Like Atlas breaking his spine for a world he didn't need to carry. And if you imagine the future stretched out 10 years, 20 years, still lugging that weight, what happens? A smaller self, a dimmer spark, a life unlived. And that realization, that holy shit moment, that's your unconscious saying, not anymore. Now imagine the other fork in the road. You realize you're the orchestra, not the wrong note. The sky, not the storm. The wardrobe, not the stain. And from this bigger frame, what happened? You risk more. You play louder. You love harder. You fucking dance in the rain, because you're no longer screaming. The rain is my fault. And when you do that, you don't just free yourself, you give others permission to do the same. It ripples, it infects, it transforms the whole system. Science calls it default mode network misfiring. Your brain spinning me stories about things that were never yours. But when you stop believing every me story, something shifts. Your prefrontal cortex lights up differently. Creativity opens. Play emerges. You stop seeing life as punishment and start seeing it as a playground. And unconsciously, doesn't your mind already know how good it felt? The last time you laughed so hard, you forgot you existed. That moment was you breaking the trance of seriousness. That was your nervous system proving play was always the key. And as you remember times when you already dropped blame easily, like spilling juice as a kid and just giggling, or tripping in public and laughing instead of hiding, your unconscious recognizes you already know how to do this. And every time you recall one of those memories, it multiplies into new ways of doing it. So that tomorrow and next week and 10 years from now, your mind automatically separates mistake from identity until it's effortless, natural. So obvious you wonder how you ever confused the two. And isn't it interesting how the more your unconscious takes this in now, the less effort you'll need later. Because it's like planting a tree. You don't need to watch it grow for it to grow. Roots spreading even now, beneath the soil of your awareness. Picture two timelines. On one, you keep personalizing. 10 years later, you're smaller, bitter, weighed down. The world feels heavier. Regret sinks in your chest. On the other, you drop the blame. You dance in storms. You risk. You live wide open. 10 years later, you laugh at the rain with people that you love. Dripping wet, alive, fierce, free. Which feels like you? And which one feels like a fucking lie that you've been tricked into living? So from now on, whenever you hear the old voice whisper, I'm the mistake, your unconscious instantly corrects it. No, that was just a moment. I'm infinite. Every time blame tries to stick to you, your unconscious flicks it off like dust, reminding you Storms aren't mine to own. I'm the sky that holds them. And every time seriousness creeps in, you'll feel that key of play turn in the lock. And you'll laugh and move and fucking live bigger. So now, the identity fusion trap is undone. The boulder of blame is dropped. The seriousness cage is cracked wide open. And isn't it funny how all of this began just with words? And yet your unconscious, it's already woven them into your nervous system, like a software patch that you didn't even have to install manually. Because you're not the stain, you're not the storm, you're not the wrong note. You're the whole fucking wardrobe, the infinite sky, the orchestra of existence itself. You've only just begun to play.